I still love that intro to this day.
As you should.
I still love that intro. Welcome. It's the Bet Online Luchador podcast. We are live from the Stone Brewery. We're my man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Dyrud. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Doing great. No myth today. We're here in person.
We are here in person.
Hanging out with the beautiful people of Pasadena here at Stone Brewery and ready to watch our Trojans take on Arizona State Sun Devils in, about an hour?
Yeah, in about an hour. So this is actually a really great place. I'm happy we're doing this. Stone Brewery has really taken care of us today. We have the Fight On Pale Ale. Great burgers from Hops Burgers, right? Haps Burgers. Haps Burgers. Had a burger from Haps Burgers.
Which our friend Skinny T told us is what? Austrian, you said?
He's
Austrian
There
King.
You go.
All right, there you go.
So Haps Burgers. Actually, the thing that's surprising about this place, I would recommend checking out. It's family friendly. They have games. They have all IPAs, plenty of beer, but it's a great scene. I'm happy they have us here. I appreciate Stone Brewery for sponsoring us and letting us have this opportunity.
Yes,
Moving forward, first thing before we get into this game, I kind of want to recap on the morning games. We had Oregon, Colorado. That was expected. We got Washington State and Oregon State on right now.
It's a good game.
We got Ohio State and Notre Dame on right now. We're kind of getting into cannibal season, right?
Yeah.
This is the college football we kind of expected. You kind of have a take on what you think about this morning from just our morning games and the early afternoon games?
Yeah, I mean, so touching on the Colorado, Oregon, I know you weren't surprised at all.
Not at all.
I definitely thought Oregon would win pretty handily. I didn't know they would dominate to that fashion. So hats off to Oregon. I mean, that game in Eugene for USC is going to be an absolute tough battle. Next week we get Colorado, but we'll talk about that next week.
Yep.
The UCLA game.
UCLA, that was
a defensive slugfest, 14-7 the final. What's hard is you had basically Utah's missing Cam Rising, so they're rolling with the freshman quarterback. Yep. UCLA's bringing in this new freshman quarterback in Dante Moore.
Trial by fire.
And, he threw a pick six on the very first play of the game, and basically that was it. Both offenses got one touchdown each, and Utah's defense got the pick six. So you would have loved it. It was a great defensive battle.
Definitely. So my theory about it is like we're finally going to get the respect that we deserve as within the conference, right? I haven't seen the results of the Washington game today, and I don't know if Washington's playing or not, but we're going to get the respect that we deserve from within the conference. Oregon State and Wazoo, they were in the battle for a little bit. Washington State is pulling away right now.
Which I'm a little surprised about, personally.
Right. But you also got to remember, Oregon State also has to play Oregon, also has to play Washington, they also have to play UCLA. They also have to play Utah, right? So this is one of those years where anybody could beat anybody. It doesn't mean that the conference is bad. I'm really excited about it. They're still the bottom guys, but in reality, like everybody 8 and up is a legit team and they're a legit contender. So I'm excited to finish out the rest of this season and to see what happens in the results. Like waking up on Saturday morning for Pac-12 football is going to be exciting.
Oh, I mean, the Pac-12 is far and away the best conference. I'm really curious to see how, and I know right now it's just the AP polls, how they, I don't want to say penalize, but how they drop some of these teams that are, someone had to lose. Like Utah, UCLA, someone had to lose. Colorado, Oregon, someone had to lose. Are they going to drop them far or still keep them because it was a good Pac-12 battle? Not that Oregon, Colorado was a good battle,
right.
but you know what I mean? Like, how are they going to drop these teams? I'm surprised. Washington State's up 35-14 right now in Oregon State.
I am surprised. I think Washington State's kind of running away with it now, but you gotta respect the conference, right? So I don't think UCLA falls out. I think Oregon stayed at 14. They dropped into the lower 20s. I don't think they fall out, but everybody else, everybody else around the country is going to have to wake up or stay awake and watch this conference play this year. I think it's going to be worth it.
Oh, 100%. So, well, speaking of staying awake, we got about 55 minutes till kickoff here for Arizona State, USC. The line right now, 34.5 SC favorites. Drew Pine looked like he will get the start for Arizona State. We previewed the game a few days ago on the Slip Troy podcast. obviously doing live here. Happy to be back talking again because we can never talk enough Trojan football. But has anything changed for you, or is this is more of a SC just getting in a groove and just doing their own thing versus necessarily not playing a tough opponent?
So what changed for me actually is, I mean, regardless of the score and the best way to keep him healthy, Caleb needs to start playing full games. Like he's only played 7 quarters this season.
Yeah.
And the third quarter that he played, he didn't play a full third quarter.
He's not gonna play 4 quarters tonight, is he?
I mean, you have to at least keep him in for at least 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're going to get into grinds, and you have to get used to getting into that grind. So that's one thing that changed for me. Like we got to start seeing Caleb play full quarters. And this is something we'll talk about tomorrow, but they get 5 preseason games, right?
Yeah.
We see what Colorado is today. They're going to get 5 preseason games. You got to get them in a rhythm and playing the whole game, because in reality, like, it's going to come a time where you need him for 4 quarters. So we got to get him playing for 4 quarters. Mason Cobb playing today.
Mason Cobb,
he's officially playing. That's good for him to play. It gives him a chance to get back in football shape. It gives him a chance to be a leader of the defense.
Yeah.
And Bear Alexander's having an excellent year. And don't take that from Bear Alexander.
Most interior pressures in the Pac-12, I believe.
Right. So, but they need a leader on the back 7. And I think Mason Cobb being out for 2 games might be the reason why they didn't have that leader. But Mason Cobb needs to become the leader, and he needs to, like I said on Thursday, the back 7 needs somebody to step up and be the face of the back 7, right? Bullock is, I'm not taking anything from Bullock, but Bullock is not where he needs to be to compare to where he was last year. You set the bar higher, you can't stay average. So Bullock is one of those that he needs to become a leader. So I haven't really changed. We need to see a very clean game. And I hate to say this, but we need to see a game just like Oregon put on. Like 100% clean game, because right now, and Jamal's going to hate me for saying this, but every game is a statement for USC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to deal with, oh, we're playing late. You have to deal with, oh, it's the Pac-12. You have to deal with all the excuses. You got to play clean. You know what I mean? They should, if they play a clean game, I see a jump in the rankings. They should be in the number 4, right? Because Florida State was in a dogfight with Clemson today. So they should be number 4, depending on how the AP poll goes. Has anything changed for you as far as what do you want to see?
No, I mean, nothing's changed. I know I said on our pregame show that, I want to see, I think it was 5 sacks and 3 turnovers from the defense.
Right.
The offense just stays clean and healthy, maybe get a nice rotation for the receivers in terms of kind of that pecking order. But I think what's changed, quote unquote, is, when you see your Oregon's defense dominate Colorado like they did today. I mean, those corners, those are some elite collegiate corners
100%.
that the Ducks have up there in Eugene. And I don't think necessarily they're going to completely stop this USC offense by any means, but I want to see USC's defense show that elite level of play against inferior competition. And the fact that Oregon went out and just absolutely took it to Colorado, granted it was a home game, but that's what I want to see USC do today. And it's more about the defense for me, because I'm not worried about this offense. We know this offense is going to score points. We know Caleb Williams is great. I agree with you. I'd love to see him play at least 3 quarters just to kind of get acclimated to playing longer football. But it's more about, I want to see the defense that I know will play good. I think they'll play fine, but I want to see them dominate an inferior Arizona State team.
Here's one thing I actually do want to see now that we're talking about it. I want to see the ball ran at least 20 times today. Like, it's on film. It's on national TV. You run the ball, you're going to be very successful against your next opponent. I want to see the ball ran. Like, today is Marshawn Lloyd, Austin Jones coming out day, right? Yeah. Like, they need to run the ball. And I get Caleb trying to win a second Heisman. I always told you that he has the hardest job out of anybody in NCAA college football, because he's trying to do something that's only been done once in the history of the sport. But they need to establish a run game. 9 carries between 2 very good backs is not good enough.
Yeah.
Right? And we're coming to a point of the season, like I said on Thursday, where mistakes become losses, right? Where turnovers become losses, or it becomes tougher games than it needs to be. We got to start establishing the run, and it needs to be established very, very early.
Yeah, no, I agree. What's
Skinny T just jumped? We thought it was a safety.
Oh, I didn't even see Ohio State scores. They actually got points on the board.
Yeah, they ran the ball and scored, yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. And Notre Dame's driving.
Oh, he almost scored a touchdown. I thought it was a safety. Are you a Notre Dame fan, Skinny T? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. We'll have a bad blood here in 2 weeks.
Yeah. The whole network is just against me.
Against you? Come on. We're here.
Yeah, there you go.
which is funny, but yeah, we're in the same boat there. But okay, let me ask you this, and then let's get back to the game. But I just came up while you're talking about that.
Okay.
What do you think is more true after today? Because I think Caleb is still maybe not getting the shine that deserves by the national media, but in terms of like what he's done, I think he's still the Heisman favorite right now. So what do you think was more true after today? Shedeur Sanders hurt his Heisman stock more, or Bo Nix rose his Heisman stock more, closer to Caleb?
Bo Nix raised his Heisman stock.
Yeah, I would agree.
So how do I say this the best way I can? Shedeur Sanders was never a Heisman Trophy quarterback. A Heisman Trophy quarterback is the most elite quarterback in the NCAA college football. He was not elite. And we say this I told you guys this all the time. He's gotten lucky in 3 games. They got the ball bounced in 3 games. Colorado State doesn't get 18 penalties for over 200 yards. They're coming in this game 2-1.
Yeah.
Nebraska doesn't have a quarterback that doesn't know how to throw the ball or fumble the ball. They're coming in this game 1-2. TCU has just an average quarterback in game 1. They're coming in this game 0-3, right? Today, they've been poking the bear, and the bear finally came out the cave, and they wasn't ready for the bear. The problem is we have a very elite quarterback at USC, and he's at an elite level where he's in great, and he doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to talk much.
Yeah.
All he has to do is just show up.
I give him credit for that. He just
right? And what are you going to do? Talk this week? You're going to have all the talk this week. Oh, and don't be surprised if they make it, two Heisman candidates going to duel. You could say that all you want, but now you're waking up a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like,
like you're going to wake up something compared to like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Like you hear all the stories about Kobe Bryant, people talk to him on the court. Next thing you know, he dropped 60 on you. Same thing with Michael Jordan, right? It's going to be very similar with Caleb. So back to your question, I think Bo Nix stock rise. I will say this, though. I don't think Bo Nix is better than Caleb.
No.
Right?
No. We're not saying that. No,
right.
No.
But for the conference, to have 3 conference quarterbacks in New York will be a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Michael Penix Jr., we might have 4 if Shedeur actually can carry
I'm not. I
don't think he will.
Yeah, I took Shedeur out of the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm talking Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
And Marvin Harrison Jr. might even be there. Those are
the way Cam Ward's playing. Cam Ward at Washington State.
Ward, Cam Ward also.
Most underrated Pac-12 quarterback probably there is. So what I've been so impressed about Caleb Williams, and I've said this before, but obviously he's been well-versed in talking to the media and how to present himself and whatever. That's been stated, and he does a very good job of that. But I think what he's also done is he knows exactly how to turn the switch for his team, but not put stuff out, bulletin board material, if you will.
Right.
Like he's very even keel. I don't want to say avoid questions, but he knows how to answer them. When someone asks about another team, it's always high respect, high level this. And other players, especially, I mean, these are young kids. Like the little things they'll say here and there, like he hasn't done that once, I think, which is so impressive.
He doesn't need to.
And he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need
That's
to.
probably
right?
why.
Right. He doesn't need to. Like when you're the best and you're at the top of the game, you don't need to talk, right? And I get it. Deion Sanders was one of the greatest cornerbacks to play the game. Deion Sanders, in my book, is one of the best athletes to walk earth. And when I say athlete, I think he's the best athlete. But at the end of the day, Deion's not playing.
He's not?
You know what I mean? Like
2 other Sanders are, but not Deion.
Yeah, Deion's not playing. Like, so Shedeur Sanders was a true test today. You want to be a Heisman Trophy quarterback? Here's your test. Play against a defense that is trying to win the national championship. You failed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you look back at, and we're getting way off topic here, but you look back at last year, which is why I think Caleb not only deserved to win, but did win, is in those moments. So in Utah, the first time they played, yes, SC lost by 1 point, but it wasn't because of Caleb Williams and his heroics that he played with. Like he was keeping that team, gave him the lead and then kept them in it. And then even in the Pac-12 title game, which they lost, he was playing on one leg and was still the reason why SC was even competitive.
Tulane also, he was on one leg in Tulane.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. Caleb puts the team on his back,
yeah.
right? So when it's time, hey, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take you guys as far as I can take you, and hopefully it's a victory, right? Yeah. And that's what makes Caleb better than everybody else. And so when you see, like, just like when we were at the San Jose State game, that was my first time seeing him in person, and there was multiple times when he should have been sacked and he got out of the sack. He's on a different level.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give him the comparison to Pat Mahomes because I hate comparing players. He's his own player.
I love comparing players. I love it.
I hate it because he's his own player because now he has to go and beat Pat Mahomes, which he's not. Right? He's Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he plays a little bit different from Pat. Extended plays, and I get why they do it, extended plays, but his maturity level is just he's only a junior. Right?
No. He's got one more year if he wants it.
One more year if he wants it. Like he's only a junior. Like, so the fact that, hey, you guys, I will get you there. Just trust me, and I will get you there. That's what makes him better. So, as far as Heisman watch, he could fly under the radar, and you could talk about it all you want to, but enough media stuff is going to get to him, and he's not going to say anything.
Yeah.
But enough media stuff is going to get to him, and he'll be there.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So back to Arizona State, right? So the thing with Arizona State, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the key thing about this game is health, right? Everybody get back on the plane. Everybody leaves Phoenix 100% health. I'll even take 80% because you can fix it within a week, right? So get out of this game healthy because one of the issues with playing bad teams is it becomes a risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They got nothing to lose.
Yeah, like it becomes a risk. A lot of players fall, and when you play on the ground, that's where you start to get hurt a lot. So if you could get people back healthy, that's why I said earlier, we have to find a way for Caleb Williams to play 3 quarters at least today and keep him healthy.
Yeah.
That has to be a thing that needs to be done. But you have to stay healthy and you have to play damn near perfect today.
Do you think playing 3 quarters, do you think it means like we want to see him light it up, or we just want him in the game for 3 quarters? They could be running the football the entire third quarter. We just want him under center, getting those at least drop back reps, being out there, calling the plays in the huddle. Maybe throws only 1 pass in the third quarter, but do we just want him out there? Is that kind of what you're saying?
You want him out there, yeah. Getting in game shape, right? And game shape is a whole different level. Like getting like you walk into camp, you're like, man, I'm in shape. You get through camp and like, man, I'm in shape. You get to that first game, you're like, nope, man, I'm not in shape, right? It takes about 4 games to get in game shape.
It's like me in podcast shape. Like we can prep, do outlines, and we put the record button on. I'm like, I'm not in podcast shape.
So the question is he in shape to play 4 quarters? I don't think so. And we have to figure out a way to get him in shape in 4 quarters, for 4 quarters. Because 4-quarter football is coming. That's like the biggest worry I have about Caleb Williams is him being in shape for 4-quarter football. Because being out of shape leads to injuries. That's the last thing we want, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, as far as, like, talk about teams ahead of schedule, SC's ahead of schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Way ahead of schedule.
Way ahead.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like, they're way ahead of
schedule. They've looked dominant.
They have, and me personally, the year that they're having the year that they had last year, I was expecting that this year, right? Now we're talking national championship or bust.
Yeah.
But they're a good enough team to now watching the college football landscape. They're a good enough team to be a CFP team.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's what we just want to see from this defense if they've made that next step. They've looked better. They won't get a huge test this week, but can they play dominant, shut down, get those 3 turnovers like they said? Can they get 5+ sacks? Did you see Kenny Dillinham's presser?
I did
when he sounded like the old Vikings coach Green. You play to win the game. You
I didn't see it.
No. Was that Herm Edwards that did that speech?
I think so.
Yeah, Herm Edwards, which is ironic that Herm Edwards was the old ASU coach. But it was a fiery no, we're out here to win. You play to win. It's not fun to just play. You play to win. It was interesting because you feel they're missing scholarships. They've got, I think, 16 starters out,
right?
Or would-be starters out.
2 starting quarterbacks out.
2 starting quarterbacks. You got Drew Pine playing, who might have been QB2 technically, but definitely not the starter. And they go into this game, and Tempe, whatever that stadium is called now, it used to be Sun Devil Stadium, sold out tonight. How many USC fans do you think are going to be in Tempe?
Quite a few. I mean, we're everywhere, right? Like, it's one of those things like SC travels really well, and it's worth the trip to Phoenix, right? It's only 6 hours drive. It's a hop, skip, and a jump on a flight. You're up, and then you're right down. Yep. So quite a few. It's a cheaper ticket. I could definitely see a bunch of SC fans there tonight, but you can't tell because the colors are about the same.
Yeah.
Right? So if you wear a Cardinal shirt, you'll just blend in with the rest of the fans, but quite a few, and probably because the ticket was cheaper.
Yeah.
That's another thing, too. The ticket was probably cheaper, so it's selling out. But at the end of the day, it's selling out is because you want to see the hottest ticket in town, right? And the goal was to make SC the hottest ticket in town again. When SC goes to South Bend, you think it's going to sell out? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Everywhere SC goes now, they're the road show. Like, people are going to want to see them. So that's a plus. And that's what I'm talking about. They're ahead of schedule, and that's where they needed to be.
Yep.
And when we talked about earlier, I told you Stanford game is when it's going to start selling out.
Yep.
Stanford sold out, and it's going forward. And they're making progress, man. And I'm proud of Lincoln Riley, you know, and I'm proud of Mike Bone. And even though he made this decision, and it worked. And it might have been Cisna, right? It might have been the one, hey, we really need to do this. But Mike Bone gets the credit for it because he had to sign the paper. But this is something that's not temporary.
No.
This is something that's going to be around
stay.
for a while. You know what I mean?
As long as Lincoln's here.
Yeah, like, so we're the show again, and being the show again is what SC is all about, right? We're here today. There's a watch party here, right? There's tables reserved. People want to see USC football again, and at one point, USC football was LA football team, right?
Yeah.
And we're becoming LA's football team again. When the Rams get good again, we're gonna have to fight it out, but that's okay. Rams, you have Sunday, we'll take Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've said this many times. Like when the Trojans are good, this is absolutely a Trojans town. Like, because and the Rams and Chargers will keep growing and get there, but just for how long they were gone and all the fans diverting to other NFL teams and how many people move here. But you could be like me, for instance. I'm from Denver.
Yeah.
I moved here. My pro team is still the Broncos. College team, obviously, I cover the Trojans, but I root for the Trojans because I live here now. Like, I don't have any allegiances to – I didn't go to any of the Colorado schools. I just happen to live there. So the Trojans here, when they're good, are LA's team, and they're becoming that again. And it's fun to watch. And
that's what it's – and we set this a year ago, right? It's about the product that you put on the field. If you don't put a good – LA and Miami is tough. LA and Miami is tough. If you don't put a good product on the field, you're not going to sell any tickets, right?
Yeah.
They're putting a good product on the field. Even when Caleb's gone, you know me, I'm Miller Moss's biggest fan.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So I'm not even worried. It's not going to be the same football per se, but it's going to be the same football, right? The Trojans will still win, and they know how to adapt to Miller Moss. And then you got two quarterback gurus there. Yeah. So, like, the fact that SC is back and the fact that you're selling out away stadiums, it's only going to get better and better, right? They won't. Well, Autzen, right? They'll sell out. Autzen will sell out because Oregon fans will be there. That'll be a big game. Yeah. Next week will sell out because of all the prime hype. But you start talking about like the Wazoos of the world, Arizona States of the world, Arizonas of the world, selling out because everybody wants to see SC.
Yeah,
it's the product that they're putting on the field. SC football is everybody's, but it's back. Like they won 11 games last year,
and it's fun. I mean, who doesn't want to see Caleb Williams and Zachary Branch and Brendan Rice and all these guys light up the scoreboard? So. Let me ask you this before we kind of wrap up.
Yeah.
You played at SC, Rose Bowl winner. Did you ever play in Tempe?
I did play in Tempe.
What's that stadium like to play in? Because I think as a fan, it's an underrated stadium. I mean, it's built like into the mountains right there in Tempe. You got the backdrop of like the rock face. Yeah. Like it's kind of a cool stadium that doesn't get a lot of credit. But what's it like kind of being an athlete there?
Let me put it like this, and it's a overgeneralized question, but there's no stadium in the Pac-12 other than Stanford worth playing in. I did play in Boulder. I never got a chance to play in Utah because we were Pac-10 back then. The loudest stadium in the conference is in Corvallis.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Loudest stadium in the conference is in Corvallis. You play at UW and they start barking and you get a sold-out stand and they start barking and then that echo goes out into the lake and it comes back on you. It gets pretty loud. Wazoo, you're in the middle of Pullman. 50,000.
Nowhere.
50,000 people. All Pullmanites or whatever you call them, they're coming to support the Cougars, and they're loud. Yeah. Every place rocks in the Pac-12 besides the farm. But when I was at the farm, they were pretty decent. So when I went to the farm got loud too. Believe it or not, like that's the probably number.
Like golf, it was like golf clap loud.
Yeah, they were
golf clap loud.
But so Sun Devil Stadium, it gets loud. If they're good and they're decent, it gets loud. Tucson gets loud.
Zona Zoo.
Yeah, it's crazy there. So. Here's a good example. Last year, SC went to Oregon State, right? Yeah. Half a stadium was the first thing Lincoln Riley said when he got into the press conference. We were not prepared for this crowd.
Yeah.
Because they didn't understand what they were walking into.
And it was like 18,000 people.
Yeah, they're
renovating.
Right. So Tempe gets loud. And so it's be a sold out crowd tonight. And even if it's 40% Arizona State, it's gonna get rocking a little bit. One good play gets the crowd going. You know what I mean? Because it's against SC. They get one sack tonight, the crowd's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
What was the last? I'm trying to think. The last good ASU moment against SC was that the Berkovici like Hail Mary. Was that their last kind of shining takedown of the Trojans?
Maybe. Like, I can't even think of the last time.
Because even when Keaton Slovis was QB, former Arizona product, like SC beat up on him a little bit, even during Clay Helton's era. So I think it was that Berkovici Hail Mary, right?
I know when, I guess my senior year of high school, but it wasn't like a great moment because Reggie Bush and them beat up on them, but Arizona State was decent then.
Yeah.
I know they got a big crowd then, but like their best moment. Oh, no. Was Berkovici the Lane Kiffin when they kept Lane Kiffin in Arizona? That was their last big moment.
Oh,
Arizona State beat USC.
And that was the tarmac game?
Yeah, the tarmac game.
Oh, I forgot that was against Arizona State.
That tarmac game was against Arizona State. And they made him get his own ride. They put him on the Greyhound back to LA.
So there you go. There you go. Hats off, Sun Devils. There you go.
So let me ask you this question. Does SC cover tonight?
34.5 points. I'm going to go yes, they do cover. The only reason why they don't cover is because they're playing all backups in that fourth quarter, and Arizona State gets a late touchdown. But as we talked about and Jamal brought up, Arizona State hasn't scored a touchdown in hasn't scored a point in 100 minutes of play. They were shut out against Fresno State last week. So offense is struggling. USC's offense firing on all cylinders. I think the USC defense getting Cobb back, getting other guys more acclimated and healthy. I think they show out. So, are we doing score predictions right now?
I have a follow-up question.
Okay. So, yes, I think they cover, and then, good follow-up.
Okay, so this could lead into score predictions. How many points do they score? Do they beat Oregon in the scoring points?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they've scored 56 plus in every game, right? 56, right. 66.
I just mean just for today. Oregon scored 42 today. Do they score more than 42 today?
They'll score over 56 today again. They're going to stay on that 56 trajectory, I think.
Okay.
Do you think?
Right. Yeah, I think this is a game they have to score 70.
70?
They have to.
Put them to bed.
They have to. And it sucks for Arizona State, but they have to.
Yeah.
They got to do it. I see 70-14.
70-14. Okay.
And the 14 comes on the JV team.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Okay, I'm going to go 62-10. It seems like they like that 10 score they've given up. But I think it's a 10 against the JV. I think the defense does come out and dominate in that first half, which is what we want to see. They gave up 3 against Stanford. I hope they shut him out, blank him in that first half. And then they kind of get some other reps going in the second half. So 62-10 Trojans.
62-10. Skinny T, you got a prediction?
Off mic? Or you can come on the mic. You can come on camera.
What's your prediction, Skinny T?
I like Alfred's confidence in over 70. I like that. I mean,
over 70 or?
Well, you said 70.
I said 70-14.
70-14. That's beautiful. I like that.
70-14. That's our guest picker.
we were at me and Will went to the Rose Bowl last week for UCLA's NC Central game, and we walked around the tailgate, interviewed fans. First fans we interviewed, like, what's the score going to be? UCLA is going to win 100-3. And it was like, oh, that's hilarious. And then UCLA goes out and scores like 3 touchdowns in a minute and a half. Had they played that way, they probably would have scored 100. Yeah. So USC might get to 70 tonight. We'll see.
So, yeah, no, definitely. They have to, though. They have to. It's just the way that the college football landscape is and the way the polls are. Like, they have to be very dominant consistently.
Yeah.
Like, and so, and that's what that's what I mean by like, they have to make that statement every week that they are the most dominant football team in college football. They have to prove it. And the reason why, the number 1 team in the nation is not that good.
Yeah. The
number 1 team in the nation, Colorado could probably beat.
You think Colorado could beat Georgia?
Why not? You know what I mean? Like, but that's what I mean. Like, I'll put it like this: the top team in the nation would probably be in the middle of the Pac-12.
I don't disagree with that.
You know what I mean?
Because they got no quarterback right now.
Right. They'll be in the middle of the Pac-12.
There's no quarterback in the SEC. Trying to think through it all. They would be top 5 in the Pac-12. Trying to think of all the QBs right now in the SEC.
Jackson Dart. You got the LSU quarterback, Anderson.
Jaden
right?
Daniels. Jaden Daniels would maybe be top 5.
You got Alabama has no quarterback.
But Jaden Daniels was in the Pac-12 and he wasn't very good when he was at ASU.
Yeah. So yeah. Jackson Dart was also in the Pac-12.
Jackson Dart, SC.
Alabama doesn't have a quarterback.
No, they're finding their way.
That's Georgia's.
Florida, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think when you look at Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Michael Pickens Jr., Shadir Sanders, Cam Rising's back, Cam Ward at Washington State, DJU. I tried and I failed miserably.
Well,
they're independent. So that doesn't even count.
DJ Ukulele.
Ukulele? That's not right.
No, ukulele.
I mean, it's close. That's close.
Yeah.
Let's go you because I don't want to butcher it. But all right, so I feel like I had one more question for you, but I forgot it now. So we can probably wrap this up unless you had something else.
No, I'm good. We got our score prediction.
Oh, okay. This was my last question.
Okay.
So seeing SC, let's say they win 70-14.
Okay.
Oregon today was ranked what? 8?
10.
Were they 10?
They're 10.
10. Is there any shot Oregon jumps SC because of that dominant win?
No.
Or is SC safe?
That's why SC has to score 70.
As long as they do that,
they'll be fine. SC scores 70, they're the number 4 team in the nation tomorrow afternoon.
They jump Florida State?
Yeah.
Or if Ohio State loses, then Ohio State would jump all that.
Yeah. But so, I think Florida State drops because they had to go into overtime with Clemson. I don't think
tough division game on the road though.
Right, but I don't think they drop a lot. It's not going to be like a fall. They may drop. Florida State's 4. They may go to 6.
Okay.
Maybe 5. It may be a flip.
Yeah.
It's not anything it's not life changing, but I think they score 70 tonight. You have to start looking at SC and start telling yourself like, all right, they're for real. They have to do that.
Yeah. It'd be great. I think the only way they move up is if Ohio State ends up losing, but we'll see. So
yeah.
With that being said, you're good? Nothing else?
Good, yeah.
All right. Well, hey, this has been a blast. We're at Stone Brewery. If you're in the area, kickoff is still what? 30 minutes away.
30 minutes.
Stone Brewery in Pasadena.
Fight on Pale Ale. Come grab your Fight on Pale Ale.
Come hang out. We're going to be here. Watch party going on. We got Haps Burgers on tap. You got Luggage Room Pizza going on.
Luggage Room Pizza also. Yep.
Coach Rowe, Skinny Tea.
Remember the keyword Traveler. Come see us and say the keyword Traveler. We'll take care of you.
Come hang out, say Traveler. So we'll be here all night. We'd love to see you guys. But either way, enjoy the game. SC covers 70-14, 62-10. My prediction. SC gets their first road trip. Big win. Moves to 4-0. And we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully Victory Sunday.
Another Victory Sunday. No, hopefully. It's another Victory Sunday.
Victory Sunday tomorrow. We'll be back
always
live.
Victory Sunday.
Tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Which is going to be probably a late night tonight. So we'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed tomorrow. Get the coffee going, brewing. But thank you all for hanging out with us. Everyone enjoy the game.
Yep.
Let's go. Fight on. We'll get this beer out of the way and get this turned off. But everyone enjoy. Thanks for hanging out. Talk to y'all soon.